Now, daily awareness is another concept. I really want you to stop setting goals and start creating systems. See, goals don't necessarily happen. Goals are like a high-grade intention. Systems and processes get done. So you've got to create some space, create some time in your day, and I can show you in about 15 or 20 minutes. When you create that time, you'll be able to move into this with 20 or 30 reach outs or touches to customers. But you really have to create that space, create that time, and then you'll be in a position to be able to make these texts, make these phone calls, and make these reach outs. So create that space. I'd love you to get a paper planner. Yes, I've got it right here. So we have paper planners. Okay, so if you want to go online and buy some, that's fine. But in this paper planner, I actually have a process mapped out for these exact lead generation techniques. But here's the thing with paper planners. There was a study done about 3 years ago, and they asked of the top income earning professionals, CEOs, salespeople, how many of you, yes, you have electronic reminders in your cell phone and your laptops and stuff and your computers, but how many of you still rely on a paper planner for most of your scheduling and for your reminders and to-dos? And literally 100% of them said they still use a paper planner. There's something about paper in our hands that keep us accountable and involved with our day. When I get to these techniques very shortly, I want you to actually plan out and then write down which ones you did and how many you did, so you start putting pressure on your process, not on your customers, so you can become a little bit better. I want you to put this on paper somehow. Ink blotters or desk blotters are not bad. Problem is every month you rip that off and then you lose that accountability. Monthly planners are, I think, a little bit better because you can flip back and look back to see why your year or your month was good or bad, and also plan forward in a different way. But I do love paper planners as being part of the psychology to make sure you are proactive in lead generating. So here's the math on this. If you were to reach out to 15 people a day, okay, just 15 people a day, and you did that for 250 days a year, and there's about 250 working days a year, roughly. I know in our business we work more than that. That's about 3,750 people a year you're touching. 3,750 individuals with businesses and families and friends that don't currently know you exist, and you can't sell a secret. By touching people in a professional way, and I can say especially text because they can stay on their phone for a while and they can refer back to them, maybe get a hold of you in a month or two, but by reaching out to people in a daily basis, 15 people a day, if you were to talk to, text, I guess email, phone, mail, 3,750 people a year you're not currently talking to, and if you only close 1%, and Wayne Gretzky, the great 99, said you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. If you only close 1%, that is 37 or 38 sales a year to people that are going to have a very different relationship with you than walk-ins, because they'll always remember that you lead generated them. It's a different relationship. This is going to change your life, not just your sales or your income. Over time, it's going to change your life. So I want you to talk less, text more. Start the phone conversation by text. Even if the text was, please call me, after they reply. Or if they do reply, you know they're right by the phone, call right away and say, hey, I know you're sitting by your phone because you texted me back. Thought I'd call you because it's easier, but we want to lead the way with text messages and not lead the way with phone calls, because nobody's picking up the phone anymore. Nobody's checking their voicemail. We can't handle the rejection as salespeople of making 5, 10, or 20 effective calls. After 4 or 5 phone calls, 6, 10 calls, whatever it is, if you're not getting the results that you want, you get depressed, you get upset. So texting really has a lot less feelings of rejection as a salesperson, and the word tracks I'm going to go through with you and ask you to maybe watch this a few times. Text them to yourself. Literally text these word tracks to yourself like we do in workshops, so you can just copy and paste these messages to customers and to prospects whenever you want to, but you want a perfect word track in your phone. You just copy down and paste and replace your customer's name in these word tracks. One word of caution. I don't want you to talk, text, or type yourself out of a sale. There can be too much talking in showrooms. You see salespeople talking themselves out of a sale. I see salespeople sometimes emailing and texting too much. You want to keep it short and effective. Engagement is the new control. When you start losing engagement, something's wrong. But often via text and email, less is more. Okay, truly, less is more. So now I want to get into the techniques and so on. And I'm just going to grab my notepad that I do have here, a little bit of a guide. So hang on while I move the phone. And I want to give you some ideas on how you really can lead generate in a very big and massive, easy way. So here's the how-to. Now I'm going to go through 10 of my favorite techniques for lead generation. I've got 70 inside Merino TV. We have a course on this specifically. We've got about 30 courses, but I've got 70 techniques inside Merino TV as a thought. So if you like these 10, you want to get a bunch more, feel free to do that. Okay, the beginning of it for me always starts with something I call the 3x3 story. And what the 3x3 story is about your credibility and connection with yourself and with your customers. And so to build that credibility and connection up with yourself and your customers, I ask you to write down and formulate these 3 things. Number 1, people are interested and curious very often as to how you ended up in the car business. Now, I really don't care if you're related to the owner, if you were perhaps, changing oil and, I don't know, broke your arm and couldn't do that anymore. You're a burned out technician, you love cars, you just want to help people. It doesn't really matter to me, but when you connect with somebody on a test drive or someplace else and they say, hey, how did you ever get up in this business or end up in this business? And you give them your story on how you did that. This is a way of connecting with people at a deeper level. And once I understand you, I can connect with you. It doesn't have to be romantic or spectacular, but it does have to be very consistent and very true. I want you to stop lying and bullshitting people. There is no reason to do this in our business. And let's face it, through Google and even through recording phone calls and having the voice notes on when you're trying to sell somebody a car, people now, if you are BSing people, can destroy you and your career in 5 seconds on social media, and there's not much you can do about it. So I want you to be very, very careful, sell ethically, but number 1 thing in my 3x3 story is to formulate a true story, consistent story, on how you ended up in the car business. The second one of the 3x3 story is why this brand, or why decided to sell used cars only, why this brand, why these used cars. And Marty just said, if everybody likes what they're hearing so far, give us a thumbs up so we're going down the right road. So if you're selling newer used cars, why this brand? Why BMW? Why Toyota? Why Ford? You need to tell people why you're selling what you sell. I also am old school enough to believe that you need to be driving what you sell. Because people also ask you, hey, Duane, what do you drive? And when you drive a different make or model, or different make, I should say, you lose credibility. So first thing in the 3x3 is, how did you end up selling cars? Second one is, why this brand? And the third one is, why this dealership, why this location? Because you probably could have sold this brand somewhere else. What happens when you tell people your 3x3 story? 2 things. You fall back in love with yourself and with the business and why you've committed to it. And it does create a bit of a love affair inside you with why you're doing this. But also your customers now can have that same love affair with you and connect with you on a different level. And you can also build value in yourself without ever knocking the competition. So to me, lead generation, in fact, your sales career starts with a deep understanding and a belief in your personal 3x3 story. Okay, here's the next technique. It's called the random lunch lottery, the weekly random lunch lottery. This is very simple. And all these techniques I've done, and I've come across top salespeople that have done these for years that have shown me what it's done for their career. And they really are common sense. The law of reciprocation states that essentially you got to give to get. And unfortunately with salespeople, we always want to get, and we never want to give. You've got to give a little to get a little. If you give a lot, you get a lot. That's how this works. So these all work off of giving to get. The other premise before I get into this is I'd like you to understand the use of gift cards. $5 and $10 gift cards, gas cards, Starbucks cards, McDonald's, the mall, any place you like to go or eat can be given to customers, okay, as ways of thanking them for their business. And some can actually be used on yourself when you're with them or otherwise, and they can be written off very easily. So you want to understand how to write these things off and use them to build your business and to make lead generation work besides all the psychology I mentioned in the first 20 minutes. You have to really look at yourself as being self-employed. That desk that you're not leasing and you're not paying for the inventory outside, and you're not paying for the phone bills or the advertising, the technicians or anything, or maybe even your own training, the computers, the internet, all of that, that desk is your workspace where you get to build up Duane Marino Incorporated and build your future. And whatever you invest in this business time-wise, in fact, even money-wise, can sometimes either be written off or used to build your business. So I want you to look at this as almost self-employment, because you really are working for yourself, but you're not really by yourself. So here's the weekly random lunch lottery. I want you to go up and down your phone, through the week and just keep your eyes on your customers. A lot of things can happen when you keep your eyes on your customer base, and on your computer or your PC, go through your CRM or your DMS. And one of the things I want you to start watching for when you're doing that is people that you remember that you really liked, you really enjoyed your time with them when you sold them that vehicle, but you haven't seen them in a while. And these people that you really loved or liked, that you haven't seen in a while, are perfect for this weekly random lunch lottery, because you got to give to get. And what I want you to do is text these people. And here's the exact text. Once a week you're going to do an invite. If they're too busy, can't take you up on it, they'll still love the gesture, but at least one person a week you're going to invite, because that gesture, even if they can't go, goes a long way. And here's the text. Hey Susan, it's Duane Marino here at ABC Motors. Haven't seen you in a while. And you've won my weekly random lunch lottery. If you've got 30 minutes the next week or two, I'd like to take you to Burger King or McDonald's or something like that, Starbucks. And we won't be talking about business. I just really want to connect. What day is best for you? And when she shows up, you pay for it. You don't really let her talk about business much. You go, look, I don't want to talk about business. We only got 30 minutes, as I said in the text. It's just a 30-minute lunch. And this 30 minutes where you don't talk about business, and you can talk about business the next day. If she has a friend or a family member that's looking for a car, that's fine. It's just there to reconnect. If you picked a Starbucks or a McDonald's near where they live or work, every single time they go by that building, by that restaurant, they're going to subconsciously think of you. And it really is a crying shame that we sell so many vehicles, and a year or so after we sell this vehicle, sometimes a lot sooner than that, our customers can't remember our names. Listen, if you want customers to send you repeats and referrals, you're going to have to find techniques to be memorable. And to be memorable, you've got to be enjoyable and valuable after delivery, and these things all fit. So maybe send your customers a text that they've won the 30-minute weekly random lunch lottery. Let's reconnect. What day's best for you? It's on me, and I'm not trying to sell you a car. P.S. I'm not trying to sell you a car. Anything like that in that text is going to be phenomenal. And if they can't make it, maybe pick somebody else, but at least one invite a week. Next technique. It's called donuts to their work. What you want to do here, again, with the people you really like. Now, in some of these, you are in fact picking people you like. I don't want you to try to build your business on people that don't like you. Now, remember, people like themselves. If I really like you, I probably will really like your friends and family that you really like, because people like and respect people like themselves. So to keep the rejection low and the love high, what I want you to do is I want you to only use a couple of these for the people you loved or liked a lot, and this is one of them. And what you want to do is network with their work in a rapid way. Within the first 2 months of them picking up the vehicle, when the emotion, the adrenaline, and the love of the product is still very high, I want you to send your favorite customers that work somewhat locally a text. And here's the text I want you to send them. Hey Habib, it's Duane Renew here at the dealership. Hope you're enjoying your vehicle. If you've got 5 minutes in the next week or two, I have to drop something off at your work. What day and what time is best for you? That's it. And what you're going to do, if they let you do this, and you're just going to say, look, I just want to drop something off, is you're going to go pick up a box of donuts, and you're going to put 20 business cards in the box, and you're going to pay for that box of donuts with gift cards, and you can do whatever you want with some of those gift cards. And you're going to write that off. So you're actually being funded here by the government and your tax incentives to actually do some of my lead generation strategies. And when you pick up this box of donuts and you put 20 business cards in the box, you're going to go to their workplace and you go, hey, it's Habib here. I've got to see him at 2:05, and oh look, it's 2:05, just a 5-minute pop-in. He's going to come off the job site, out of the plant, the factory, the office, and go, what's going on? And you go, nothing's going on. I just want to thank you for buying the truck. And he's shocked, and that's it. He opens it up. There's the box of donuts with 20 business cards. And this is going to end up in the lunchroom or on his desk, and people are going to be eating your donuts and seeing who you are. We're going to take it up a notch. What I want you to do when you're there, if it's at all possible, if you're feeling it with this client, is just do this. You're welcome, Habib. There you go. And so it's kind of curious. What do you guys do here? What goes on here? And they're going to get the clue and the cue right there as you kind of step aside, walk away, whatever, and look at their business. Oh, Duane, let me show you around. And they're going to introduce you to everybody that they can see, telling them that you're the person that sold them the truck and you're just dropping off some donuts, and you're going to pick up leads and love. And it's all about vitamin L. It's all about giving and getting love, giving to get a little bit if you really want to build your business. And I'm going to tell you if you do this because I've done this in the past. You're going to have people say, what? He's dropping off donuts because you bought a truck? I just saw my guy in service. He didn't remember my name. He walked right past me, didn't recognize me. I just went to go to pick up my car. The guy forgot about my delivery. You're going to hear all these terrible stories. And one of the great things about our business is a lot of